Since the declaration of the State of Israel in 1948, Israel has maintained a policy of offensive existential wars, both in Palestine and on its bordering Arab states, namely Lebanon. Israel's mere existence had prompted resistance. Yet after its biggest invasion of South Lebanon in 1982, which reached the capital Beirut, little did it know that it was paving the way for the founding of a grassroots movement. A Lebanese group of fighters who would single-handedly fight Israel and even outweigh its military capabilities. On June 6, 1982, Israel launched a full-scale invasion of Lebanon. The death toll in the following 3 months was estimated at 19,000, with about 30,000 others wounded. Many national groups took part in the battle against the Israeli occupation that reached the streets of the capital, Beirut.
إسرائيل قد بسطت سيطرتها، وأننا بدأنا نعيش عصرا إسرائيليا. جاءت انطلاقة المقاومة التي نستطيع أن نقول إنها كانت بدايات خجولة ولكنها واعدة.
After the Palestinian Liberation Organization was forced to leave Lebanon in 1982. Another group of Lebanese fighters to challenge the military occupation of Israeli forces was in the making. On November 11, 1982, 18-year-old college student, later identified as Ahmad Qasir, stormed the headquarters of the Israeli Military Command here in this location. The West called this a suicide bombing. People in Lebanon say it's the youth's highest expression of self-sacrifice for their country and people. Many experts saw it as the first martyrdom operation of its kind in the history of the Arab-Israeli conflict. The heavy losses it inflicted on Israel would soon force Israel to withdraw from most parts of South Lebanon. Ahmad Qasir's operation has been considered since as the foundation for the achievements to come and has been celebrated ever since as Martyrs' Day.
Hezbollah's Shiite theology and Shiite ideology of the way they define themselves and they define their enemies and they define their confrontation with the enemy, that is something that gives them a good advantage. When you have these sort of troops who are not afraid of dying, but embracing martyrdom and dying, facing another force that is really concerned about casualties, afraid of dying, afraid of being hurt, then you have an advantage here to drift.
Hezbollah openly declared its manifesto in February of 1985, and from then on concentrated all its efforts on fighting Israeli occupation in Israel's self-proclaimed security zone south of the Lebanese Litani River. Hezbollah's tactics mainly included hit-and-run guerrilla-style operations against Israeli posts in the occupied villages. Where I'm standing is the Al Shaqif Fortress, a Lebanese national heritage which goes back some 900 years. During their occupation of southern Lebanon, the Israelis had taken over the post as a strategic stronghold. Most of the Israeli posts, like this one, were subject to daily rocket fire and even ground attacks by the resistance, which sometimes led to face-to-face confrontations where Hezbollah would take over the post, confiscate the armaments, and even detain Israeli soldiers. Hezbollah's main mission during the years of occupation was that of expelling the occupier. Their true test was realized after the liberation of most of South Lebanon in May of 2000. It was on this wooded hill called Mlita, where in the early 80s, Imad Moghni and Sayyid Abbas Musawi trained the first group of resistance fighters. During the years of occupation, this place served as a strategic military post where the fighters would have an apprehensive knowledge of the areas to be attacked, in addition to their advantage of knowing the land. Many of the villagers in the occupied villages served as volunteer reservists who full-heartedly fought alongside Hezbollah's professional fighters. We were able to get an exclusive interview with two of Hezbollah's fighters who shared with us their insights. What the world noticed was that Hezbollah kept going throughout the July war. Even before, during the occupation, there was always this war of attrition. That was amazing to the entire world. But everyone wants to ask about the morale of the fighters. Each and every one of you, how was your morale during the war?
Our culture has always been that of self-sacrifice. It's what we've learned from the Prophet Muhammad and his family, especially Imam Hussein. We have been raised to live with dignity. Even if our enemy has stronger military might than we do, we can defeat it when we sacrifice our lives. Even when a family member or close friend dies and becomes a martyr, we feel stronger. The war was very tough, and we have sacrificed so much, but we will keep going.
Israel constantly threatened that it would retaliate for its losses in the occupied territories, while the resistance promised that it would hit back while keeping to the element of surprise.
بالتالي هي فرضت من خلال أدائها وانتصارها وصمودها فرضت معادلة. تحييد المدنيين يقابله تحييد المدنيين. استهداف المدنيين يقابله استهداف المدنيين. اغتيال سماحة الأمين العام السابق الشهيد سيد عباس الموسوي، التي أستطيع أن أقول أنها كانت المحطة التي أدخلت المقاومة الإسلامية إلى الوجدان اللبناني والعربي.
In July of 1993, Hezbollah launched Katyusha rockets for the first time after a series of intolerable attacks by Israel against Lebanese civilians. In its Grapes of Wrath operation in 1996, Israel once again launched an aggression against Lebanon in the aim of exterminating Hezbollah's resistance. This goal was not realized. Instead, Hezbollah was able to enforce a new balance of power by which Israel would be deterred from targeting civilians.
Hezbollah has managed to establish a strong, credible deterrence vis-à-vis Israel, and that Israelis today will have to count to 10, if not to 100, before they think about attacking Lebanon.
Imad Moghni, Hezbollah's top military commander, was considered the brains of a new school of thought in military studies. The 25th of May is a national holiday in Lebanon. The anniversary celebrations of liberation are usually highlighted by a speech from Hezbollah Secretary General Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, who is seen by many experts as the mastermind of another aspect of Hezbollah's military ability, that of psychological warfare.
أن يأتي رجل مثل هذا الرجل ويقول أنه سيحقق انتصارا على إسرائيل ويحقق هذا الانتصار لأول مرة.
Observers believe Hezbollah remained a conventional popular resistance movement until it proved it could evolve into a fighting force to be reckoned with, able to prevent a reoccupation of Lebanon. That was realized 6 years after liberation of 2000. Hezbollah's professional fighters and even volunteers were able to grasp the extent of planning and training Hezbollah's military commander, Imad Mughniyi, had been staging during the years extended from 2000 to 2006. Hezbollah had already learned the Israelis by heart and kept in mind that Israel would try to avenge its withdrawal from South Lebanon and regain its military morale. Israel continued to hold the Shabab farms and Kfar Shuba hills, which Lebanon's government holds onto as Lebanese land. Yet Hezbollah's main effort after the liberation of 2000 was concentrated on retrieving Lebanese detainees in Israeli jails.
نحن قوم لا نترك أسرانا ومعتقلين في السجون، ونحن قوم من حقنا أن نفعل أي شيء من أجل أن نطلق سراح الأسرى والمعتقلين.